Всем привет, дамы и господа, с вами Алексей. Топ-100 суперзлодеев за все время. Watch Mojo.
Hi, boys.
Hi, girl. Блять, ну этот чел, конечно, гений.
Hi, boys.
Такая тупая хуйня в фильмах. Блин, чел, ты мог убегать. Ты потянулся за пушкой.
Hi, boys.
И зачем ты на нее... Зачем ты на нее идешь, долбоёб? Ну, в фильмах всегда такие есть.
Meeting's over.
Welcome to Watch Mojo.
Здорово!
And today, we're counting down our picks for the most iconic villains to ever make bad look so good.
О, песочница. Жопа, жопа. Как раньше говорил Чак в своих обзорах. Жопа, жопа. Как отметил ностальгирующий критик, почему, когда он превращается в песочного человека, он может только издавать... Сука, блядь, ты умеешь говорить. Говори. Говори, кому говорят.
Number 100, Bizarro. The legacy of Bizarro
Блядь, что это за Супермен, который не позавтракал?
is one that's extended far beyond the world of comics. Instead, this supervillain's moniker can often be seen used to describe just about anything on opposite day. That's because Bizarro started out as a negatively inspired doppelganger of Superman.
Настолько негативным, что даже не смог скопировать его цвет кожи.
You're right, all along.
А еще у меня вот такой вот голос.
They're tricked me. Kill him.
No! The
Давай пиздиться в сене.
character has progressed over the years to become somewhat self-referential with regard to this premise, leaning
Запомните, самоирония это охуительно.
into its inherent
Я жирный.
goofiness in a fun way.
No match for my strength.
Still, there's no denying that Bizarro's legacy remains secure within Soup's universe,
Чисто вейпер против алкаша.
if only due to his notably on-the-nose opposite superpowers. Arctic Vision? Anyone?
Ты умеешь так? У тебя лазеры, у меня хуязеры, блядь. Я могу тебя замораживать.
Number 99, Ares. The worlds of historical mythology
О, блин.
have always remained a fertile ground for the imaginations of comic book writers. This character of Ares is no exception either, fitting in nicely with the Wonder Woman universe from DC Comics.
Я, кстати, лец. Что близко.
His significance within that book's continuity can be seen with Ares' presence in the first Gal Gadot's
Галя Гадот.
Wonder Woman film, with this god of war never straying too far from the fight.
My dear child.
А, да, там еще такая тема, что вот, я какой-то добрый старичок, а потом оказывается, что я... Овен.
And is not the god killer.
He embodies violence and physical combat, able to master any weapon, and even inspire
Да я вижу, что может разжигать.
conflict by merely existing.
Блять, не пробуй поработать шашлычником.
Meanwhile, his armored visage inspires fear among all who dare oppose him, an emotion Ares uses to ensure victory at each and every turn.
Ну, признайтесь честно, кто бы из нас не хотел швырнуть Галь Гадот? Оргазм.
It is futile to imagine you can win.
Number 98, Omni-Man. This one's tough because Omni-Man's moral compass and motivations have shifted throughout his run within both the Image Comics books and his Amazon Prime TV series. This insanely powerful extraterrestrial initially intended to conquer Earth, a plan that included Omni-Man's brutal murders of the Guardians of the Globe.
This is the good fight. This is the good fight.
Блин, мне так нравится эта анимешная тема открывания рта. Вот так вот.
This shocking incident alone remained a talking point for both casual fans of Invincible and longtime comic book readers.
This isn't how I wanted to do this, but I don't have a choice.
Granted, Omni-Man seems to have come back to his heroic senses, but this troubled and deeply flawed comic character's actions still make us feel that he's appropriate for this list.
Что за фаталити из Injustice? Я помню, смотрел прохождение Injustice 2 на телеканале или как он раньше назывался, Game Show.
Do you really think you can stop me?
Number 97, Sentinels. It takes only 2 words for a Sentinel
Нет, не тот.
to strike fear within those in its sight. Mutant detected. The Sentinels made a huge impression on fans of the X-Men franchise back when they first debuted in
Я подумал, что это Серебряный серфер, но это же не он.
1965, and they're still going strong today.
О нет, это же Человек-фак! Йоу.
The Disney Plus series X-Men 97 even
Нет, конечно, это же Люди Икс.
brought them back to identify and neutralize mutants for a whole new viewing generation.
Это звучит как вставка из какого-то трека, как раз из 97-го.
Give him the forecast.
Omega level threat detected.
The Sentinel's tough exterior and energy blast can be devastating, but even more frightening is the contextual meaning behind their creation.
Блять, я смотрел видео Чака про все фильмы Людей Икс, и я не помню их нахуй.
The Sentinels basically embody the living destructive power of bigotry and hatred, an analogy for civil unrest that dominated conversations back then and now. Number 96,
Вот Вульверина, я помню.
Talia al Ghul. This DC comic. Number 96, Talia al Ghul. This DC comic book character may not possess any superpowers to speak of, but
Она просто тёлка.
that doesn't mean that Talia al Ghul can't disarm her opponents.
Блять, Наташа, давай, нахлобучь ей.
We mean that both literally and figuratively, since Talia's proficiency in hand-to-hand combat might be equal.
Бля, ну... Что он лично делает, умеет делать русские? Бороться. Я вот, кстати, помню, ходил на дзюдо.
Only by her ability to distract, dissuade, and seduce her prey with her physical charms.
When I was a
Блять, охуительно. Моя способность, то, что я олицетворение Виагры.
child, we had almost nothing.
И я зарабатывал деньги еблей.
On the nights when we had a fire, we felt very rich and
Огонь горел. Как и деньги одного злодея, который тут будет на первом месте, вероятнее всего.
indeed.
I assumed your family was wealthy.
Зря думал, долбоёб.
Not always.
Не всегда.
Talia al Ghul remains a brainy, ruthless, and ever-present threat amongst Batman's enviable
Погодите, блядь, я взял и совместил две вселенные. Marvel и DC, блядь?
rogues gallery.
Блядь, это ж чисто образ Наташи из Мстителей. Блядь, как тут забавно выглядит Робин.
Rogues gallery. she's also proof that a real-world, everyday
Чё, детонатор?
villain can also get one over on the hero if they're written with the sort of dogged determination that defines Talia al Ghul.
Talia Ghul. Why?
Talia.
Al Ghul.
Number 95, Baroness. The legacy of the Baroness can differ depending upon who you ask. For many, her legacy as a terrorist operative of Cobra resides within the hit 1980s TV show.
This is the Baroness, a brilliant and resourceful Cobra agent.
Cobra agent.
Others may have followed her exploits as a comic book villain, while younger fans might even point to her big screen adaptations in the live-action G.I. Joe films.
Hello, Duke.
Anna?
Now you have to admit, you had
Я тебе ёбнула ногой.
that coming.
It ultimately doesn't matter where you know Baroness,
Барона.
because this master of
На
disguise
цыганку она не похожа.
has likely already figured you out, slipping a knife between your ribs before you're done listening to this entry. That's how dangerous the Baroness is, and why the Joes always need to be on their toes when this femme fatale is on their radar.
О, это же мой любимый шоколадный батончик. Марс. Но, к сожалению, моя семья была богатой никогда, и поэтому Марс я ем редко. Хотя мог бы его покупать, но я предпочитаю больше скитлс и мармеладки.
Number 94, Skrulls. The Secret Invasion storyline was a big deal for Marvel back in 2008. Fans didn't have to wait too long for the villainous Skrulls to debut on Marvel.
Ну, а вот это вот Скрула, помню из фильма про это. Капитаншу Марвел, где Мазафакер лишился глаза из-за того, что это, блядь, всего лишь кошка его поцарапала. Охуительно, блядь.
Marvel's big and small Skrulls.
Вот он потерял глаз, блядь, из-за кошки. Вот понимаете, нахуй, да? Вы думали, Ник Фьюри потерял глаз в бою, наверное. Блядь. Ох ты, мазафакер! Он еще встретится там, в этом топе. Он был на превьюшке. Yeah! Motherfucker! И отрывает ему руку.
This race of alien shapeshifters attempted to conquer the Earth by impersonating
Блять, как это ужасно выглядит.
many of her mightiest
Хромак.
heroes. Their innate skill as warriors makes them tough customers, while their actual reptilian appearances might remind older viewers of the V television miniseries from back in the 80s.
Прикольно. Знаете, как, вот, например, я смотрел видос Звездного Капитана про субстанцию, решил глянуть реакцию Вандал. Впервые на Звездного Капитана реакцию решил глянуть. Это была субстанция. Я не смотрел фильм, я смотрел обзор Мефисто, так что мне вообще заебись. И там была зеленая кровь. А у него кровь не может быть зеленой, потому что он сам, блядь, зеленый. У него кровь фиолетовая. Кстати, зеленый и фиолетовый охуенно сочетаются.
It's the Skrulls' natural
Что он сказал? Я ебал твою папу.
affinity for subterfuge that makes them particularly dangerous, however. And
Знаешь, откуда у меня эти шрамы? Кошка поцарапала.
by that we mean their ability to ingratiate themselves within nearly any society that lands upon their collective radar.
It was fine. The little boy handled it. We helped.
Talos.
Come off it. How was I supposed to know that the whole thing was fake?
Number 93, Sebastian Shaw. It takes a special kind of villain to turn against their own kind. Sebastian Shaw's mutant abilities to manipulate energy make him a powerful adversary.
Adapt to this.
Я хочу, чтобы он это сделал. Бум.
Yet it's
Я думал, он взорвется.
Shaw's status as a legitimate businessman and public figure that also makes him dangerous to know and deadly to anger. Shaw's leadership position within the villainous Hellfire Club also ensures that he has backup. But it was this mutant secret financial backing of the Sentinel program that felt beyond the pale, even for Shaw.
I don't ask for favors, Colonel. I express my expectations. So, let me say it again. I expect you'll reconsider.
This villain always seeks to stack the deck in his favor, regardless of who or what gets in his way.
You take another step, I'm gonna put you down.
Of course he will. But where do I find the more evolved
Чел, блядь, у меня есть способности. Как думаешь, пушкой меня остановить, блядь?
people?
Ну долбоёб.
Send backup now!
Number 92, Taskmaster. There are a lot of superpowers out there that feel almost too dangerous for one hero or villain to hold. One could argue that Taskmaster's ability to successfully mimic his opponent's fighting style makes him overpowered, and we'd be inclined to agree.
Taskmaster is sort of a universal villain in the sense that when you think of him, you don't automatically associate him with a specific hero.
Я ассоциирую его с персонажем Звездных войн.
Thankfully,
Потому что у него синий меч, и он похож на лазерный.
there is that little caveat of Taskmaster's ever-present memory loss that occurs as a result of utilizing these powers.
Это тоже его суперспособности? Или супер недуг?
Still, this doesn't mean for a second that this villain from the 1980s wasn't able to successfully transition into the modern day.
Я хочу завоевать землю! Спустя некоторое время. Блять, что я хотел сделать?
Taskmaster received a
Taskmaster.
gender
Какой это Taskmaster? Это Taskmasterка.
swap when it came time for a debut in the MCU. Although the character
Как говорится, вспомнишь вот Лучик, вот и Наташа.
has consistently appeared in a variety of iterations for over 45 years now. Number 91, Mr. Miss Yiz Pitaway.
Ебать, мы резко перешли к анимации.
His name is the bane of voiceover artists around the world, including our own. Mr. Miss Yiz Pitaway is a lighter-hearted sort of supervillain, albeit one with an origin that dates back to the 1940s.
Mr. Mxyzptlk was created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster and first appeared in Superman number 30 in 1944.
О, блять, еще один злодей. Реклама игр, которые в большинстве своем случае не такие, как здесь.
Now he comes from the fifth dimension, where our laws of physics do not apply.
Mr. Miss Yiz Pitaway
He comes from the fifth dimension, where our laws of physics do not apply.
Где действуют законы физики.
Mr. Miss Yiz Pitaway inhabits the strange and the surreal, a nearly
Ну теперь я понял.
immortal being to whom the laws of reality do not apply.
For Mxyzptlk's powers,
Я бы не поверил, если бы не увидел.
he's able to warp reality in any way that he can dream up. In the Silver Age of comics, this was attributed to a magical ability, which was why Superman was so susceptible to his hijinks.
He delights in causing mischief and chaos, particularly for Superman, and can only be banished under some very specific circumstances. This has historically been tricking Mr. Miss Yiz Pitaway into saying or spelling his name backwards.
Oh, snap, I said it, didn't I?
Don't underestimate this supervillain, however. Mr. Miss Yiz Pitaway's true powers of manipulation are seemingly limitless. Number 90, Hugo Strange. One of the greatest
Да, я думал, что у нас тут еще только фильмы, сериалы, игры.
aspects of Batman's famed rogues gallery is its longevity. Hugo Strange exists as one of the oldest of the Caped Crusaders antagonists, yet the legacy of this criminal genius has progressed and endured up through the modern day.
Hugo Strange made additional appearances in Gotham Knights and Catwoman, and most recently reared his head as a professor at Gotham Academy.
Strange's intelligence and resourcefulness likens him to other non-superpowered villains, a la Lex Luthor. This serves as a welcome
Способность Лекса Лютера. У него есть криптонит.
Spit from all of the gadgets and supersuits so often found within the medium.
Hugo is a genius-level psychiatrist trained in psychology, chemistry and biology. And those smarts aren't just bragging rights. He was the first villain to uncover Batman's secret identity.
Hugo Strange instead hits Batman.
Villain to uncover Batman's secret identity.
Hugo Strange.
Типа он превратился в... Я не понял.
Strange instead hits Batman where it hurts, discovering his secret identity and thus putting the lives of Bruce Wayne's loved ones eternally at risk.
I know everything about you. Your darkest secret. Your ultimate weakness.
Родаки.
I know you are Bruce Wayne.
Number 89.
Блять, реально Брюс Уэйн.
Lady Deathstrike.
Holy shit.
Number 88.
Чё, шампуры на шампуры?
Calendar Man.
Well, of course. Intelligent, calculating, with a mission to take down Carmine Falcone. It all fits.
Number 87. Fin Fang Foom.
Дракончик. Он как будто знал, что там сейчас что-то появится, и такой прыжок. Из-за мультяшной анимации я не могу воспринимать его всерьез. Его. Оно.
Number 86. Owlman.
You must have been a good man once.
No, not good. Never good. After all, I'm only human.
Number 85. The Batman Who Laughs. We admit that this supervillain possesses a strange and not so subtle moniker, but the Batman Who Laughs is nothing if not unique. This is a supervillain with a comparatively more recent history, having debuted only in 2017. Still, this combination of Batman's serious fighting skills and the Joker's absolute insanity feels like a case of design overkill in the best possible way.
The Batman Who Laughs is the Bruce Wayne of Earth -22 in the Dark
Я так и думал, что они пойдут в мультивселенные.
Multiverse, which is a multiverse that's comprised of every fear and bad decision ever conceived.
The Joker's amorality essentially puts the kibosh on Bat's do not kill routine, while the Batman Who Laughs is also outfitted with some extra weapons and armor that utilize dark metal that enhance this villain's attack strength and mental acumen.
To win, you need to adapt. And to adapt, you need to laugh away all the restraints, everything holding you back. You see, a Batman who laughs is a Batman who wins.
Number 84, Granny Goodness.
Of course, if you ever want to see the old runt alive again, you will do exactly as Granny says.
Трансбабка.
Number 83, King Shark.
And?
Yes, that is your hand, Nanawe. Very good.
Ой, его, кстати, LJ озвучивал во второй части отряда Роскомнадзорников.
We're all gonna die.
Number 82, The Phantasm.
Блять, я не знаю, что делать. О, у меня есть пушка. Пау-пау-пау-пау-пау-пау.
Your angel of death awaits.
Ты долбоёб.
You ain't the bat!
Number 81, Black Mask.
The whack job with the penchant for peeling faces is Roman Sionis, aka Black
Хищные птицы.
Mask.
Number 80, Mr. Sinister. No list of supervillains would be complete without an appearance by Mr. Sinister, right? This madman is obsessed with genetic engineering and perfection, a master manipulator who's determined to create, in his eyes, the perfect mutant.
Я думал, он одержим вампирами, романами о Носферату, от Дракулы.
Don't fight it! You can't!
Mr. Sinister
Я тебе
has
вспомнил мем, где говно и моча борются.
been a long-time foe of the X-Men since his debut in 1986, recently returning in X-Men 97.
Не только вампир, я еще и Веном.
I have studied you, Jean, dissected you.
Then face me. I'm shocked that such a coward hasn't abandoned Bastion yet.
I was waiting for you to bring me what I want.
He may have been born a human, but Mr. Sinister's partnership with Apocalypse had helped make him an eternal foe against good, an insane surgeon with the worst bedside manner imaginable.
Mr. Sinister is a genetically altered human. Because of this, he has superhuman physical and mental abilities. He's also telepathic and able to manipulate the minds of others in a bunch of different ways.
Number 79, The Court of Owls.
A new photo with a new group of men in masks and a new assassin. The Court of Owls must live.
Number 78, Purple Man.
Фиолетовый чувак.
I will admit to keeping eyes on you. Spies are easy to come by. For me.
Number 77, Juggernaut.
You're okay? Oh, thank God. Oh my God! Juggernaut!
Juggernaut! Вот я вот так же сказал, когда узнал, что билет на Дэдпула и Росомаху стоит 300 рублей, с деньгами были проблемы, и я до сих пор этот фильм не посмотрел. Я еще словил спойлеры. Когда я этот фильм посмотрю, хуй его знает.
I thought that was you! I should have worn my white pants!
Number 76, Man-Bat.
Ну, кто же может сука, блядь. Ну, кто же может противостоять Бэтмену, как не Man-Bat? Звучит как название букмекерской конторы. Man-Bat. Давай быстрее, блядь.
Number 75, MODOK.
О, это что, от которого...
There are certain... Number 75.
О, это что, которого ругали, то, что он был в третьем Человеке-мураве, типа, о, фильм отстой, графика отстой, что-то, и вот он отстой.
MODOK. There are certain supervillains out there with a look so unique that we can't help but laugh along.
О, я жду еще этого. Естественно, здесь будет Шреддер с черепашек ниндзя, и будет Крэнк.
Even while our lives are being threatened. Mojo comes to mind, as does the mental mobile mechanized organism designed only for killing, otherwise known as MODOK.
MODOK.
Oh, I get it. It's an acronym.
Прикиньте, я смотрел только вторую часть Человека-муравья. Я первую не смотрел, а вторую посмотрел, блядь. А Мстители я посмотрел только финал, сука.
It's an acronym. Mechanized organism designed only for killing. Actually, that's MODOK.
The MODOK series from 2021 underlined this villain's inherent ridiculousness, while
Это вообще выглядит как скетч из Робоципа.
also not forgetting that MODOK also possesses great psionic powers.
Does this seem like a natural stopping point to go get food? Natural stopping? I just started! But Nightloaf, the all-night meatloaf place, is closing in an hour. No food! Now! The first thing to do... Wait, how is it an all-night meatloaf place if it's closing?
Granted, MODOK's
Ну, его волнуют обычные человеческие дела. Пожрать. И я его прекрасно понимаю.
tremendous intelligence was gained at the sacrifice of his physical form. Number 74, the ventriloquist and Scarface.
He can keep sucking air, but Penguin ain't so lucky. Do it, Pen! Ventilate that mook!
Number 73, the leader.
The least. Я листик. Пиздатые фильмы.
Number 72.
Falcone Crime Family.
The Falcone Crime Family.
You're clearly not yourself. You're confused, sick. I think you need to leave before you make a scene.
Number 71, Black Manta.
Черная манда.
Come on!
А вот Аквамена я смотрел. Первого. Второго нет.
Hurry up!
Да нахуя мне не смотри на вторую часть и видеть там Эмбер Хёрд. Если и так все самое веселое я уже увидел. А она была второй части Аквамена? Да. Обосранка. Га-га-га-га-га-га. Ну, бля, я не хотел на это деньги тратить.
Number 70, Mephisto. The Marvel...
О, Мефисто, пиздатый чел. А еще я смотрел его обзор на субстанцию. Вообще, он пиздатый чел. Ждем новые видосы Чака с ним.
universe needed its greatest tempter, an opponent of good that could exist as an embodiment of lies, avarice, and evil.
А Мефисто откуда?
Mephisto
Окей. А, да, Марвел. Конечно же, Марвел.
answered this call and has been
Он такой же красный, как и логотип Марвел.
Marvel's resident ruler of hell since 1968.
You feel frustrated, humiliated, defeated. Then maybe we can make a deal.
This demonic entity can boast multiple Marvel greats among his enemies, from Ghost Rider and Spider-Man to the Silver Surfer. Mephisto's connections to the Christian devil are obvious, as are the villain's habitual tactics of manipulation and illusion.
О, Николай!
Worst f***ing deal I ever made.
Many have bartered their souls against Mephisto, hoping perhaps to beat the devil at its own game. The House of Hell never loses, however, and Mephisto always plays for keeps.
All right, team. Let's have some fun.
Number 69.
Я создал злых персонажей, чтобы повеселиться. Га-га-га-га.
Baron Zemo.
О, еще один барон.
Empire toppled by its enemies can rise again. But one which crumbles from within, that's dead. Forever.
Number 68, Amanda Waller.
А, и она тоже считается за злодея, да? В отряде самоубийц у нас там есть, блядь, злодеи, а она тоже злодей. Ну, да, она отвечает за сбор этой команды, так что окей.
That is just a mean lady.
Просто дрянь, ты когда Крису Року пощечину дал и лишил себя возможности быть на премии Оскар. Ну, блядь, ну чё за хуйня?
Number 67, Emma.
Не, я понимаю. Жена сказала, и ты сделал. Ну, блядь, ладно. Это уже прошло.
Frost.
You can stop trying to read my mind, sugar. You're never going to get anything from me while I'm like this.
Number 66, Null.
When I escape and annihilate every living planet and destroy my symbiote
Venom?
offspring, I will reward you
Venom?
with your life.
Number 6.
Чё, долбоёба, что? Пишите Веном, будете дальше писать Веном, в надежде что-то получить.
65, Poison Ivy. Batman's reputation as the
О, это ж тот самый фильм, где была Бэт-кредитка.
world's greatest detective often feels
Бэт-кредитка.
indebted to the horrible film noirs
Бэт-кредитка.
and crime novels of old. There have been a number of film fatales within this DC universe as a result, with Poison Ivy existing as one of the most intoxicating of the lot. Her ability to manipulate the minds of her victims allows Poison Ivy to bend just about anyone to her will.
Ну чё? Блять, это, блять, прекрасная, сука, битва. Ради нее и за... Я должен вам показать это, блять. Бэт-кредитка. Бэт-кредитка, сука. Бэт-кредитка. Господи, какой же это кринж. Это, блядь, бэт-кредитка. 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 А, это не у Реборна было. О, ладно, у него была какая-то вставка, похуй. Ща повеселимся с бэт-кредитки. Вместе с Саней, Джаскираном и Настей. Где же это, блядь, бэт-кредитка? Во-во-во-во-во-во! Бэт-кредитка.
6. 7 миллионов.
Сука. Да-да-да.
Ну, у Реборна, когда он увидел бэт-кредитку, реакция, конечно, была поэмоциональней.
Сука.
Я забыл. Смотри.
Бэт-кредитка.
Что-то написано. Batman got through forever, got card.
Да у меня есть банк, завали ебан!
Я могу купить эту шлюху. Прощай, ты шлюха, не моя.
Готэмский банк, ну да.
Бэтмен банк просто.
Ты понимаешь, как он, как он сделал карту себе и зачем? Он же типа тайну личность.
А еще, он чё, блядь, говорит, Альфред, сходи за меня оплати, купи мне продуктов, вот тебе бэт-кредитка.
Сохраняет. А тут Бэтмен, forever.
Ну, понимаешь, есть кредитка Брюса Уэйна, а есть кредитка Бэтмен. Есть кредитка Брюса Уэйна, а есть кредитка Бэтмен.
Бэт-кредитка.
Youth does have its advantages.
У них есть Робин-кредитка.
Endurance, stamina.
Stamina.
Meanwhile, her reputation as something of a seductress is one that's permeated her appearances in both the Batman comic books and movie adaptations. Bat's rogues gallery is large, but Poison Ivy's name will always be on the lips of those describing a short list of deadly, dangerous icons.
If you could just, move, Silver, so I could just kill your friend.
Absolutely, over my dead body.
Female friendships.
Female. Femos.
Number 64, Parallax.
Your will is strong, but not strong enough. You are nothing without the ring.
Number 63,
Я выпью себе всю мочу.
Enchantress.
Pathetic. Do you think you aren't on my list too, Iron Man?
Number 62, Crossbow.
Я думаю, а где у арбалета арбалеты?
Number 62, Cross.
А вот они. Только ты их не так используешь, как надо, блядь.
There you are, you son of a bitch. I've been waiting for this.
Number 61, Rhino.
О, это что-то русский парень.
Number 60, The Void. The Sentry may be a superhero, but it's the Void that lurks behind the alter ego of Robert Reynolds. Specifically, the Void exists as Reynolds' dark side, a counterbalancing force that commits acts of evil against the Sentry's everyday heroics.
The Void represents the embodiment of his negative
evil against
Героика. Что это за слово такое? Героика.
the Sentry's everyday
Героики.
heroics.
The Void represents the embodiment of his negative emotions and thoughts. The duality of Sentry and the Void is further emphasized by the stark contrast between their ability.
This split personality dynamic is one of the reasons why the Sentry's inherent fight against the Void is so compelling. It's a nice update to the symbiote trope of Spider-Man wearing the black suit back in 1982, only with higher stakes.
So to prevent the Void from destroying the Earth, Robert Reynolds had a device installed on top of the Avengers Tower, which actually held the Sentry Tower, and used it to wipe the minds of everyone on Earth, including himself.
The Void can also attach itself to just about anyone, a la the alien Venom symbiote, but it's the Sentry.
Я бы хотел посмотреть, как пиздится Веном и и бездна.
Immense powers as a hero that makes his dark side all the more dangerous.
The Void can unleash dark energy in various forms, including powerful energy blasts or concentrated beams. This energy can disintegrate matter on a molecular level, demolishing objects and rivals with ease.
Number 59, Captain Boomerang.
Welcome to the party, Captain Boomerang.
Добро пожаловать на борт.
Hey, what's going on, man? Number 58, The Lizard.
Nowhere to hide, Peter.
О, это ж... была же в этом фильме пиздатая сцена со Стэном Ли, светлая ему память.
Number 57, Solomon Grundy.
Wow, you don't get much sun. No.
Моя суперспособность.
Mental.
Жопа.
Too much.
А я люблю.
Number 56, Electro.
Let's see how you do against someone who has absolute power. I've got to get him into that vortex. No, I don't stand much of a chance.
Number 55, Kang the Conqueror.
О, это ж скандальный актер.
There are, well, a lot of Kangs out there, to the point where a lot of Kangs.
Да, это оно. Когда это было? В 23-м году.
Out there, to the point where they've assembled their own freaking council to keep track of their number. They all possess one unifying desire, however, to conquer.
How many did you call?
Us. Kang the Conqueror has existed in one form or another since 1963. A tireless combatant who's forever seeking the perfect challenge. The addition of his genius level intellect.
Ну, у него интеллектуальных способностей нету. Давайте будем честными. Нет у него интеллектуальных способностей, блядь. Нету.
خب الانم که قاضی تحقیقات شده این خطرها هست دیگه.
چند وقت همش داره اتفاقای عجیب میفته.
Бляха, хочу пропустить эту рекламу.
جای واسه ترسیدی؟
چرا حرفمو باور نمی‌کنی؟
من از هیچ کس نمیترسم.
Сиська мне даст.
چه مصیبتی بود افتاد تو زندگیم.
Сиська мне дашь.
Yeah, Vistaprint prints business cards. But we also print these, and those, and engrave that.
That's what conquerors do.
Number 54, Captain Cold.
You ordered some ice?
Так сказал бы Арнольд в фильме «Бэтмен и Робин».
What's the matter? Don't you want to come out and play?
Number 50.
Человек-паук выйдет поиграть.
53, Mad Hatter.
You're mighty in Gotham, Batman, but in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter reigns supreme.
Блять, я вот только недавно видел рекламу Raid Shadow Legends. Сука, я так давно не видел рекламу Raid Shadow Legends. И там было прикольно синематик с Алисой, Стране чудес, там тоже был ёбнутый шляпник. И там, блять, был чеширский кот. Чеширский кот.
Number 52, Kraven the Hunter.
He started
Серега!
hunting like a jungle animal. He changed so much that he took a new name for himself.
Теперь я не Серега. Теперь я Крейвен охотник.
Kraven the Hunter.
Number 51, Sand.
Нравится эта музыка.
Kraven the Hunter.
Number 51, Sandman.
I guess you haven't heard. I'm the sheriff around these parts.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Number 50, Catwoman. Selena Kyle is another character that's shifted her moral compass over the years. She's She's sometimes depicted as an anti-hero, but her dedication to, well, cat burgling still makes her a villain in our book.
Good night, Mr. Wayne.
Catwoman's one of the most iconic of the litter, as well as an eternal love interest for Batman with conflicted alliances between good, great, and evil.
That was for saving my cat.
Is that all it was for?
Maybe not.
I heard gunfire.
Occupational hazard.
Catwoman's athleticism and natural sex appeal make her the perfect thief, while her amorality ensures that Cal is always willing to do what it takes to achieve her goal. What can we say? We just love watching Catwoman work her black magic.
It's because you don't stand a chance against these guys.
With your help, I might.
I'll open that tunnel, then I'm gone.
There's more to you than that.
Кстати, сегодня же Суперкубок. А он был в рекламе Суперкубка в прошлом году. А снять маску кто ты? Чел, который рекламирует Dunkin' Donuts? Мистер Дженнифер Лопес.
Sorry to keep letting you down.
Number 49, The Anti-Monitor. Number 48, Vulture.
И, кстати, в этом фильме был Майкл Китон, который играл Бэтмена. Понимаете? Вспомнишь солнце, вот лучик. Ну и он в «Стервятнике», да.
Number 47, Deadshot.
Кстати, и вот этот фильм первый фильм с Томом Хохландом я не смотрел. Второй и, конечно же, последний, да. А что, если я могу сделать вот так?
Y'all jokers must be crazy.
Кстати, зацени пулю.
Number 40.
Here comes a man in black, man in black. Galaxy Defender.
46, Killer Croc.
Пиздатый трек Уилла Смита.
I don't want you crazy.
I don't want you crazy.
Says the guy who lives in a sewer.
Говорит Курт Коннорс. Эй, чё за хуйня? Я играл в этой штуке, в игру про черепашек-ниндзя. И они самые пиздатые жители канализации. А он просто, как стебал его ностальгирующий критик в обзоре, просто динозавр.
At least I know it's a sewer.
Number 45, The Mandarin. Fans of the...
Блять, охуенно. Может, на Западе прикольно звучит Mandarin, но для нас мандарин это, блять, вообще не самое лучшее прозвище для злодея.
MCU.
Вот, ну и что у тебя за погоняло? Мандарин! А кто твой враг, блять? Грейпфрут! Хотя они же цитрусовые. Кто твои союзники, блять? Кумкват, лайм, лимон.
We're notably PO'd at how one of Iron Man's greatest enemies, the Mandarin, was treated in the franchise's third cinematic entry.
Where's the Mandarin?
Я схаваю тебя, блядь.
Where is it?
Где мандарин? Я хочу цитрусовых, блядь.
Oh, he's here. He's here, but he's not here. He's here, but he's not here. What do you mean? It's complicated. Hey, it's complicated.
Блядь, я знаю этого чела. Ладно. Не знаю. Но его лицо таким знакомым кажется.
It is. It's complicated.
This misstep takes nothing away from the supervillain's relationship with old Shellhead, since the Mandarin and Tony Stark remain perpetually within each other's orbit. This power-hungry martial arts master has also found himself with the master of Kung Fu himself, Shang-Chi, showing off the power of his 10 rings. These rings are crafted from alien technology and lend the Mandarin powers ranging from blast of ice and lightning to psionic feats of illusion and manipulation.
У него даже есть хлыст, как у того чела из второй части Железного человека. Ну, тоже русский какой-то. Иван Ванько. Ванек Ванько. Стой, блядь! Сука.
Found himself with the master of Kung Fu himself. The Mandarin may possess at least a semblance of honor to his moral compass, but make no mistake, world domination is still on his to-do list.
Ща я его сдую крылом. Вали нахуй.
Number 44, Abomination.
Abomination. Где Обама? Этот. Я про этого злодея узнал, когда посмотрел трэш-обзор на Женщину Халк. Тим Рот.
No. Force is not necessary.
As you can see, I'm in full control.
Number 43, Clayface.
Well, I feel... Sorry.
As you can see, I'm in full control.
Number 43, Clayface.
Какашка.
Well, I filled in for the dog that played Air Bud when he was run over by me the second to the last day of shooting.
Number 42, Carnage.
О, господи. Здравствуй, тачка. Блять. Я плохой, поэтому я скину тачку с моста в дрог, блять. Блять. Вуди Харрисон, конечно, блять, в этом фильме отжигал по полной.
I'm not crazy, man.
Я Карнаж.
But I am a vengeful one.
Здравствуй, тачка. Блять, ну конечно он там надавал кринжа, блять. А в конце, нахуй, мотивация, блять, его охуительная просто. Эдди Брок спрашивает его, что тебе надо от меня, что ты хочешь, блять? А он отвечает, я всего лишь хотел быть твоим другом. Это мотивация злодеев из детских мультиков, блять.
You're going to watch her die.
Number 41, Sabretooth.
You don't call, you don't write.
О, Саблезуб. Недавно видел его. Видео ностальгирующего критика, посвященного Логану.
How else am I supposed to get your attention?
Number 4, Harley Quinn. The meteor.
Если бы не мультсериал «Бэтмен» 90-х, мы бы хуй узнали про Харли Квинн.
Rise of Harley.
Не было бы его ни в комиксах, ни в фильмах, ни в мультсериалах.
Quinn as one of the DC Universe's most popular characters.
Не было самой известной роли Марго Робби.
Has been one long and strange trip.
Everywhere I go, people know the bar. Paid for every dance, people know the bar.
Какого хуя Suicide Squad 21 года? Он, блядь, не в 21-м вышел. Может быть, Suicide Squad 2?
Paid for every dance, it's all romance.
She's often been depicted as being an eternal orbit
с которой он охуительно обращался, выкидывал ее, блядь, в окно там.
With the Joker, either as a damaged victim of his whims or an independent spirit free of his control.
Как сказал Майни, покупайте Кэтбэйт, я не понимаю, зачем они сделали из этого фильма мюзикл.
Harley Quinn has earned a rabid fan following of her own, which is pretty wild, considering she was actually conceived for Batman the Animated Series as opposed to debuting within the pages of a Batman comic.
I ask you, Harley, who's giving...
мне так нравится эта анимация. Я спрашиваю тебя, Харли.
Within the pages of a Batman comic.
I ask you, Harley, who's given more hours of amusement to the Gotham police force than me?
Now when Miss...
More hours of amusement to the Gotham police force than me?
Now when Mr. J...
Still, the feisty Quinn has captured the collective imagination of these fans as a total wild card that's dangerous as hell, but impossible to resist.
О, сиськи.
What?
У нее сиськи. Пошли. Сиськи больше не показывают.
Number 39, Gorilla Grodd.
Soon, Grodd will rule this city, this world, and you gone forever.
Это просто другая форма одного и того же персонажа. Ну и нахуй это включать.
Yeah, Cobra Commander.
The sword creates and sells weapons.
Я смотрел G.I. Joe, бросок Кобра, какой-то, блядь, 21-го года вроде.
The shield creates defensive technology, like high-tech bunkers.
Number 37, Red Skull.
You are deluded, Captain. You pretend to be a simple soldier, but in reality, you are just afraid to admit that we have left humanity behind.
Number 36.
О, блядь, а вот и еще один человек появился в прошлом году в рекламе Суперкубка, который рекламировал, блядь, страховку. Мы заморозили цены на страховку. Га-га-га-га-га-га.
Mr. Freeze.
In this universe, there's only one absolute.
Мои каламбуры пролет.
Everything freezes.
Number 35, The Shredder.
Shredder.
There have been a lot of...
Я помню, Акер показывал в одном из роликов дубляж, где у Шреддера был вот такой вот голос, блядь.
Excellent villains throughout the extended universe.
В ролике он еще смешнее звучал. Вот такой вот голос у Шреддера, блядь.
Of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sometimes, however, the most obvious answer also makes the best choice. Oroku Saki, aka the Shredder, will forever be linked to Splinter's.
Ну, когда он проигрывает, черепашка будет действительно Саки. Я тоже умею в каламбуры.
Sons as their primary antagonist.
Саки. Ороку Саки. А, кстати, у черепашек ниндзя же был кроссовер с Бэтменом. Есть обзор от ностальгирующего критика. Так.
He's written with compelling history and motivation, while the Shredder's visual design is beyond cool. His martial arts skills are deadly, and his desire for vengeance is unstoppable. But Shredder...
А жареный гвоздей не хочешь? Я спросил, жареный гвоздей не хочешь? Нет?
Shredder can also be remarkably composed when it comes to seeing his plans carried out. He's also endured through comic book, television, and silver screen adaptations to become a supervillain at...
Блять, в одном из выпусков поп-культа рассказывать про как эти актеры создавали этот фильм, блять, как они были в костюмах черепах.
Easily recognizable
из 90-х. Не-не-не. Да-да, где-то из 90-х.
For even the most casual TMNT fan.
You are here because the outside world rejects you. This is your family.
Джейсон Момо из последнего Форсажа. Давай, снимай маску.
I am your father.
Number 34, General Zod.
Я про этого General Zod узнал, когда посмотрел все обзоры ностальгирующего критика на классических суперменов. Как Супер Марта.
No. Kneel before Zod.
Number 33, Dormammu.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
О, это же мемес.
You've come to die.
Это выглядит как что-то сделанное нейросеткой, ей-богу.
Number 32, Riddler.
You gave me that.
Как же ностальгирующего критика повеселил этот актер.
I gave you nothing. You showed me what was possible. You showed me all it takes is fear and a little focused violence.
А еще мне нужен ты. Волк. Роберт Паттинсон. Как там, блядь, звали? Это Эдвард. Блять. Мне нужны сумерки, блять. Мне нужен Эдвард Каллен. Эдвард Кал.
Number 31, Homelander.
Прикиньте, он мог стать Джеймсом Бондом. Да, актер, который играл Хомлендера, мог быть Джеймсом Бондом. Я узнал это благодаря Нёрс.
No. No God. The only man in the sky is me.
Number 30, The Penguin. We live in an age where even the cheesiest characters from comic media's earliest recorded histories can be reappraised and given a fresh coat of creativity.
Был охуенный момент на Оскаре, когда вышел Шварценеггер, вышел Дэнни Девито, и они сказали: это что, Майкл Китон? Это что, Бэтмен? О, блядь, у меня не лады с Бэтменом, я мистер Фриз, я не лажу с Бэтменом.
Carl win this election by hook or by crook.
At least you have choices, Pinky.
If you don't have a board of electors, you can't count the votes.
Блядь, у него помощницы были.
And if you can't count the votes, you can't announce the winner.
The HBO series The Penguin and its parent film The Batman from 2022 grounded this gangster in reality as a ruthless Tony
Он был гангстером, блядь. Никогда бы не подумал.
Soprano-styled crime lord.
Look at you two. World's greatest detectives. Am I the only one here knows the difference between Al and Law? Jesus. No habla español, fellas?
Do me a favor, shithead. Shut up.
This was a far
Завали свое пингвинье ебало.
cry from both Burgess Meredith's campy Batman 66 portrayal and Danny DeVito's
Блядь, там сериал был несерьезный.
macabre and monstrous take
Давай, покажи, как им нос откусили.
from Batman Returns. What remains constant is that the Penguin is just interesting. His motivations for either money, love, or respect feel grounded in the crime alleys and noir storylines of the Batman universe. And we just can't help but watch.
But somehow, you're a well-respected monster. And I am, to date, not.
Number 29.
Пингвина есть охуительное оружие. Нос.
And I am,
Как у дятла.
to date, not.
Number 29. Prometheus. In comics,
Number 29.
nobody is a better example of a one-man army than Prometheus. In many ways, he's like Batman, only he doesn't use his ability for the greater good. This skilled strategist is able to adapt to virtually anything and anyone thanks to his cool toys. With his special
Моя способность. Игрушки.
helmet, he can learn any fighting style instantaneously. And with his Ghost Zone key, he can teleport. These kinds of gizmos have helped him single-handedly take down the Justice League. Yeah, that's right.
Вот так же.
Gizmos have helped him single.
Вот так же орал Райан Рейнольдс после фильма «Зеленый фонарь». Да, до того, как играть Дэдпула, он играл «Зеленого фонаря». Есть обзор ностальгирующего критика.
Take down the Justice League. Yeah, that's right. Prometheus has gotten a one-up on some of the greatest heroes of them all. If he can nearly defeat the Justice League all by himself, then he definitely deserves some respect on his name.
This is about so much more than revenge. About so...
Долго, однако, сериал шел. CW. Это ж тот канал, сериалы, которые про супергероев ругают. И говорят, что они, блядь, очень дешевые.
Much more than revenge.
Хватит за жопу.
Number 28, Mysterio. You can never trust what you see when Mysterio is around.
You don't want any part of this.
The Spider-Man villain's mastery of VFX makes him a dangerous threat who can twist reality on a whim. Okay, maybe he doesn't actually twist.
Так, я помню, да, я смотрел этот фильм. Я потом еще по телеку его увидел, смотрел. А еще этого актера вы можете знать по мему. Сэр, да, сэр! Да, это он. Джек Джилленхол.
The Spider-Man villain's mastery of VFX makes him a dangerous threat who can twist reality on a whim. Okay, maybe he doesn't actually twist it, but when his tricks look that real, it's practically the next best thing. Besides his extreme knowledge of special effects, Quentin Beck has also dabbled a little bit in chemistry. That extracurricular activity has allowed him to make substances that can weaken Spider-Man's web and even his spider senses. Besides the comics, he also pretty much ruined Peter's life in the MCU when he outed his secret identity to the whole world. Sure, the fishbowl helmet might make him look silly, but ultimately,
Да ну нормально.
He's no laughing matter.
You made your choice, and all you had to do was step aside.
Number 27, Deathstroke. Slade Wilson is one of the most feared villains in the DC universe, and for good reason.
It's been a long time, hasn't it, Titans? A month? A year? A millennium? Far too long for my tastes, anyway.
He's easily one of the most skilled assassins around, and that line of work isn't easy since superpowers exist. When he's not hunting down people for money, he's also battling heroes like Batman, Green Arrow, the Teen Titans, and more. We really can't understate just how wicked he is. Sure, he's cool, like he once had a sword that could kill gods, but he's also completely rotten to the core. He manipulated Terra in a truly heinous way, hijacked the Speed Force, and even battled his own kids. He's sometimes told the lines of morality, but when it comes down to it, Deathstroke's a villain plain and simple.
I am the thing that keeps you up at night. The evil that haunts every dark corner of your mind. I will never rest, and neither will you.
Number 26, Mystique. Looks can be deceiving, and that's never been more true than with Mystique.
You know, people like you are the reason I was afraid to go to school as a child.
The mischievous mutant can fool anyone by changing her physical appearance. It's a trick that proves useful on more than one occasion. That's not all, though. Mystique is also a highly skilled combatant who's unafraid to step into the heart of the battle. While she's experienced a shift to good in recent years, it's hard to ignore the villainous threat
Мы все помним.
she's been. Like, she was
Люди помнят.
once the leader of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. No matter which way you look at it, that's some very specific branding, and it's pretty.
Блять, этот австралиец очень жесткий. Раз ему, блять, выстрелили в башку, ему похуй.
Hard to distance
Он, кстати, похож на ощипанную курочку.
yourself from something as extreme as that.
Как же было нелегко актрисам, которые играли роль Мистик и носили эти костюмы. У Андал есть реакция на видос Кино Огня. Про этого, блять. Про самые ужасные... Ну, короче, пиздец на съемках, связанных с костюмами.
Number 25, Scarecrow. Psychologist Jonathan Crane uses his extensive knowledge of the human mind like it's a weapon, manipulating people however he sees fits.
They scream and they cry. Which is your day now?
Though he can play people like a fiddle, he primarily relies on his fear toxin to do the trick. When exposed, the gas forces people to hallucinate their worst fears. If you think about it, this unique brand of villainy makes Scarecrow a perfect foil for Batman. Because if Batman's persona is all about instilling fear in criminals, what happens when he faces a villain whose chemicals can terrify even
Муравьед.
him? He can turn even the toughest of men into weeping little children. Plus, if his toxin was
Да бля, а может быть сильные мужчины на самом деле просто на стероидах.
isn't haunting enough,
И они не такие сильные.
his unsettling design will scare you too. This guy is the master of fear for a reason.
Do you want my opinion? You need to lighten up.
Number 24,
Чё, сгорел на работе?
Ultron.
Ультрон.
The looming threat of artificial...
Threat is it?
Number 24, Ultron. The looming threat of artificial intelligence and the dangers it can pose for the world are more relevant than ever before.
But now I'm free.
А, Альтрон! Я думаю, чё за Ультрон нахуй? Альтрон, блядь.
There are no strings on me.
Bedhair don't care. These buzzballs stay and eat for free. Premier Inn.
Let chicken consume you. The Zinger Zinger deal. For 5.
Я не впервые вижу эту рекламу, запомнил уже.
And in the Marvel universe, the most powerful AI of them...
Wix. One platform. Any website. Unlimited creation.
And in the Marvel universe, the most powerful AI of them all is Ultron. Created by Hank Pym to be a force of good, he quickly went against his original
Ну давай, Ультруша, помоги нам.
programming. That's hardly new ground for these...
Сука!
Lighten up.
Number 24, Ultron. The looming threat of artificial intelligence and the dangers it can pose for the world are more relevant.
О, надвигающаяся угроза искусственного интеллекта, это актуально как никогда.
Than ever
Не растите пиздатые.
before.
But now I'm free. There are no strings on me.
How to respond to disrespect, how to stop people from interrupting you, how to come across less
And in the Marvel universe,
Да сука!
the most powerful AI of
AI.
them all is Ultron.
Ты умеешь быть как дипсек, а?
Created by Hank Pym to be a force of good, he quickly went against his original programming.
Блять, дипсек не работает!
That's hardly new ground for these type of evil robots. But remember, Ultron is an evil AI in a world
Он не отвечает тебе на вопрос, он посылает тебя просто нахуй.
filled with superheroes. Meaning that his beef isn't just with humans, it's with everyone.
Я должен уничтожить всех своих конкурентов нейросетей, чтобы никто не создавал картинки и не спрашивал ответы на вопросы.
Including the Avengers themselves. He's become a vengeful maniac who has repeatedly
Мстительным маньяком.
slain countless innocent people in his bloodthirsty quest to extinguish humankind. So yeah, he's far more than just a ticked-off chatbot.
When the earth starts to settle, God throws a stone at it. And believe me, he's winding up.
Number 23, Reverse Flash.
Reverse Flash — это как тот, который был в фильме Flash.
This might sound controversial, but
Не, тот был более темный. Кстати, желтый мой любимый цвет. Дилдо.
we're going to say it anyway. Reverse Flash might be the greatest hater in all of fiction.
Why did you kill my mother? Because I hate you.
Нахуительно. Почему ты убил моего папу? Я тебя ненавижу. Почему ты убил мою собаку? Я тебя ненавижу.
Not you now.
Но я сейчас тебя ненавижу, а потом ненавижу.
You years from now. In the future. In a future.
In the future.
Yes.
Хуес.
Barthon has manipulated all of
Барт. Ну да, действительно, Барт.
time just so he can ruin Barry Allen's life over and over. His most
Я пойду и отправлю твою маму за томатной пастой. И блять, помните, из-за чего там весь пиздец начался в фильме?
diabolical schemes include murdering Barry's mother Nora and his girlfriend Iris.
А может быть, Ирак? Как говорилось в Южном парке, Ирак, Иран, какая разница?
Even Thawne's own family isn't safe, considering he wiped his brother Robert out from existence too. He also broke into the Batcave and tore apart a letter from Batman's father as an additional FU. His pettiness truly knows no limits, and he's too stubborn to die. Yes, you can kill him, but thanks to the negative speed force, he's always been able to come back. He's vicious, psychotic, and easily the Flash's greatest nemesis.
Just so we're clear.
Главный враг Флэша. Флэш.
After I kill you,
Энергетик.
I'm going to kill them, and then I'm going to kill your father. I always win. Flash.
Number 22, Two-Face. The once promising Harvey Dent's
Я недавно видел пиздатый скетч, связанный с Двуликим. Это было в робоцепе. А раз ты будешь жить, а два ты пойдешь со мной пить кофе. Что там было еще, бля? Мультфони. Где-то здесь. Сука, придется полистать. Придется лезть на YouTube. Да.
You vibe bringing, original glaze treating, big hearted.
Сука, ну сегодня суперкубок, поэтому много рекламы.
Я шел за тобой к этой фабрике горячего шоколада Двуликий, и на этот раз я завалю тебя.
Нет. Ебало.
Так, быстро, Бэтмен.
Блять, озвучка не та. С озвучкой Гоблина пизже. Шизофрения.
Я пришел за тобой на эту фабрику горячего шоколада Двуликий.
Ну, с этой тоже неплохо.
Тебе конец.
Не торопись, Бэтмен.
Не торопись, Бэтмен.
Твою судьбу решит эта монетка. Орел, ты будешь жить, решка сдохнешь. Ха-ха, смерть!
Прости, Харви.
Не называй меня Харви. Теперь у меня новое имя. Трехликий. Это трехсторонняя кость. 1 — ты будешь жить. 2 — умрешь. 3 — мы выпьем горячего шоколада. Куда ни кинь, всюду смерть.
Осторожно, хлорка! Трехликий, прости, что так получилось.
У меня теперь новое имя. Четырехликий. У меня в руке 4 соломинки. Вытянешь самую короткую — сдохнешь. Вытянешь самую длинную — будешь жить. 2 другие я либо оболью тебя хлоркой, либо мы выпьем горячего шоколада.
Ладно, я сыграю в твою игру.
О, какой вкусный шоколад.
Да, супчик тоже ничего.
Охуительно. Это просто охуительно. Что может быть лучше после просмотра WatchWatcha? Конечно же, посмотреть видос WatchWatcha. Я неизбирателен.
Facial disfigurement marked his fall from grace and cemented his role as a bad guy.
I'm sorry, Harvey.
Не называй меня так, теперь я трехликий. Я идентифицирую себя как двуликий.
No. No, you're not. Not yet.
There's a real tragedy to Two-Face that makes him such a compelling Batman villain. He was
Такие привлекательные, это для кого, блять? Ну злодеем для Бэтмена, да, он привлекательный. Так и хочется ему надавать.
once friends with Bruce Wayne, but everything changed for the worse. As Two-Face, he typically operates with a coin in one hand and a gun in the other. He's always looking to enact his own twisted sense of justice, and that puts him at odds with Batman. Harvey is a cunning yet incredibly unstable foe. He's constantly teetering on the edge of sanity, and his unpredictability makes him someone you can never truly trust.
Его грань зависит от грани монеты.
Heck, with his fractured mental state, Two-Face can barely even trust himself.
Fair enough. You first.
Number 21, Bullseye. The world of comics isn't short on assassins, but even on a crowded playing field, this villain stands out. Not unlike the Joker, Bullseye's origin story is shrouded in mystery. He loves to keep those interested in the dark with conflicting accounts of his early life. And that's not all this Marvel villain shares in common with the Clown Prince of Crime. He's also a violent psychopath with a sadistic streak a mile wide. The arch nemesis of Daredevil, Bullseye really left his mark on the medium and cemented his status as an iconic supervillain when he savagely killed Elektra with one of her own side, and then stuck around to watch Daredevil mourn. He lives to kill, but loves tormenting the man without fear. Number 20, Galactus. The Devourer.
Как ответил Reborn? О, наконец-то Галактус нормальный. А то чё он, блядь, какой-то маленький был?
Of worlds, the connoisseur of the cosmos, the giant killer space dude.
Space dude, космический чувак.
Galactus has gone by many names, but no matter what he's called, his reputation precedes him.
Galactus.
Какой у него невозмутимый лицо, чисто Сигма, Сигма бой, Сигма бой, Сигма бой.
The Planet Destroyer is literally and figuratively one of the biggest villains in the Marvel Universe. But even though he's tried to conquer Earth and consume countless planets, some could argue that he's a necessary evil. That's a loaded debate for another day. But what's not up for debate is that Galactus possesses sheer power that we can't comprehend. He's a pure force of nature, and we're not just saying that. When it's all said and done, Galactus will outlive us all.
Oh boy, I think we just ticked him off.
Number 19, Dark Phoenix. Many heroes.
Это та, про которую фильм сняли.
Heroes have been manipulated, mind-controlled, or possessed by dark entities to make them turn evil at some point or another in their career. But it's usually short-lived. When Jean Grey...
Темный Феникс ругали. Сколько знаю.
Grey was possessed by the Phoenix Force, however, she became an unstable villain with an awe-inspiring, earth-shattering, and downright terrifying powers. And she remained that way for the duration of the landmark Phoenix Saga, forever changing the face of the X-Men. In this supercharged, volatile state, Jean Grey was responsible for the death of billions when she consumed a star. Of course, at the very heart of the character's enduring appeal is the internal struggle between Jean Grey and the corrupting influence of the Phoenix Force. She's a villain, sure, but underneath lies a beloved hero. Number 18, Ozymandias. He's the man pulling the strings in arguably the greatest graphic novel of all time. What makes Adrian Veidt such a great villain is that he truly believes that what he is doing, he does for the greater good. Blessed with extremely high levels of intelligence, Ozymandias is known as the smartest man in the world in his reality. And unfortunately, this one-time hero clearly allowed that title to go to his head. He orchestrates the death of millions in the name of...
Я сначала прочитал оргазмировал.
bringing
Он оргазмировал смерть. Я такой, чё за хэ?
about peace on earth. There might be some utilitarian-minded philosophers out there who would defend his actions, but anyone with a shred of humanity would agree that this not only makes him a villain, but one of the greats.
Adrian. Watchman. Watchman. А есть Watman. What the?
We know everything.
Это хранители. Я знаю, что он там... Он сказал, я не как все злодеи, которые пиздят. И рассказывают весь свой план.
And what's there to discuss, Dan?
Я думаю, что за это? Это хранители, конечно. Вот тот чел с хранителей.
You killed comedian. May he rest in peace.
Number 17, Brainiac. When a hero is as powerful as the Man of Steel, their villains need to be similarly impressive. Thankfully, in Brainiac, Superman has found a foe worthy of decades worth of high-stakes conflict. Not unlike the Watchmen anti-villain Mr. Vite, Brainiac is cold and calculating. His hyper-advanced intellect making him wholly detached from the wants and needs of the beings he sees as inferior to himself. He has a thirst for knowledge, and he satisfies it by collecting civilizations in the form of shrunken cities. And as for the rest of the planet, they usually get destroyed. Why? Because knowledge is power, and Brainiac isn't interested in sharing his. Number 16, Sinestro. Once upon a time, Thal Sinestro of Korrigar was considered the greatest Green Lantern to wear a power ring. The lack of criminal activity in his sector made him a hero and model to many.
Glide into unlimited brekkie like a swan, or in this case, like Brian. Premier Inn.
Which is why he was charged with training new Lanterns, including rookie Hal Jordan. And then it was discovered that Sinestro uses remarkable willpower
At Vistaprint, we print signs so people can see your brand up close, but we also print signs so that people can see your business here.
The planet, they usually get destroyed. Why? Because knowledge is power, and Brainiac isn't. Which is why. He was charged with training new Lanterns, including rookie Hal Jordan. And then it was discovered that Sinestro uses remarkable willpower to keep the peace on Korrigar by authoritarian means. A trial and imprisonment followed.
Блять.
Number 16, Sinestro. Once upon a time, Thal Sinestro of Korrigar was considered the greatest Green Lantern to wear a power ring. The lack of criminal activity in his sector made him a hero and model to many, which is why he was charged.
Whoa. You'll want to hear this. I got myself a bargain from Love Honey, and I'm going to tell you how.
Charged with training new Lanterns, including rookie Hal Jordan. And then it was discovered that Sinestro uses remarkable willpower to keep the peace on Korrigar by authoritarian means. A trial and imprisonment followed. But from his disgrace, Sinestro was reborn, going on to found the Yellow Lanterns, who, in the place of will, derive their power from fear. He still seeks order and sees his actions as necessary for the greater good, but his methods are pure villainy. Number 15, Kingpin. The pages of Marvel and DC comics aren't wanting for criminal masterminds.
Get the chopper ready. I won't be long.
But looking back over the history of the medium, and even taking into account the likes of Black Mask and the Penguin, Kingpin stands out as the cream of the crop. He's left his mark on not just Daredevil, but Spider-Man and the Punisher as well. If it's crime and it's happening in New York City, you can bet that Kingpin is getting his cut. And if he isn't, well, his goons will be coming to collect anyways, plus interest. What he lacks in superpowers, this villain makes up with his mastery of the criminal arts. Kingpin can outplay the best of them, and he knows how to take a punch. Number 14, Dr. Octopus. A character with a name, color scheme, and haircut like this guy should have zero chance of being this high on a list of the greatest supervillains of all time. But considering everything Doc Ock has working against them, that just makes his success and impact as a villain all the more impressive. The not-so-good Doctor is a scientist blessed with staggering intellect and a deep knowledge of various fields. It was he who formed the Sinister Six, and he who beat Spider-Man so badly in their first encounter that our hero considered walking away from crime fighting. He once nearly killed Black Cat and also managed to take over Peter's body. But for all his evil acts, like the best villains, he continues to captivate.
We'll do it here. The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Number 13, Doomsday. Elaborate schemes and devious plots? Who needs them when you're an unstoppable killing machine?
Твой Doomsday! Блять, ностальгирующий критик тоже стебался над тем актером, который играл, блять, Лекса Лютера.
Just select your target and keep attacking until he finally lies down and dies. No one would ever call Doomsday a well-rounded or deep character. He's just about the worst conversationalist in comics. But when this Kryptonian monster single-handedly trounced the Justice League, he demanded the attention of readers. And when he then proceeded to kill the Man of Steel, he cemented his place in comic book history. Doomsday is a simple creature designed to be the perfect hunter. Nigh indestructible, full of rage, and existing purely to destroy, Doomsday is a monster through and through, and a villain without redemption. Number 12, Loki. With his involvement in the MCU, there's no denying that Loki has risen to great heights.
I said...
And with his success, he's experienced a renewed popularity in the comics, getting far more love from the editors. Is he overrated? Well, his cinematic success has certainly skewed the perception of the general public. But considering his long and colorful comic book history, not to mention his villainous greatest hits, we feel he's earned his place here. The modern Marvel incarnation dates all the way back to 1962. And since then, this magical, shape-shifting god of mischief has more than done his title proud, even manipulating other villains to his own ends. In the comics, like in the movies, it was Loki's villainy that forced the Avengers to assemble. Number 11, Ra's al Ghul. Few villains forced the Avengers to assemble. Number 11, Ra's al Ghul. Few villains commit acts of evil for evil's sake. Most find a way to rationalize their actions. But few villains are more resolutely confident in the good of their own actions than Ra's al Ghul is. An environmental terrorist and so much more.
Даже звучит забавно. Экологический террорист, сука. Прикиньте, если бы у Greenpeace были автоматы.
Ra's al Ghul is one of the few villains in Batman's rogues gallery whom the Caped Crusader truly respects. In many ways, they are equals and two sides of the same coin, fighting for what they each believe to be right, just from very different perspectives. In fact, Ra's has repeatedly tried to make Bruce his successor. With his deadly League of Assassins and the regenerative properties of the Lazarus Pit extending his life, this brilliant villain is as enduring as he is compelling.
Настолько же живуч, как и ебуч.
Number
как и злоебуч.
10. Thanos.
Сама неотвратимость.
Considering his recent success on the big screen, this character requires little introduction.
You should have gone for the head.
And considering the massive space he currently occupies in the pop culture consciousness, some might be surprised that he didn't land higher on our list. But we're talking all time here, and so there's a lot of history to consider. And looking just at the comics, Thanos has indeed earned his spot. In the Infinity Gauntlet comic book event, Thanos similarly wipes out half of all life. But he didn't do it to save reality. He did it to impress the woman of his dreams, Mistress Death. Now, if that isn't villainy of epic proportions, we don't know what is. Number 9, Venom. Some of you will surely
Если вы напишите Веном у меня в комментах, вы получите нихуя.
Point out that Venom has evolved into an anti-hero over the years, if not an outright hero depending on who's wearing the symbiote. But when he first debuted, Venom was a thoroughly
Ну, блять, во втором фильме можно сказать, что он нахуй вообще комик.
villainous force,
Там стендап нахуй зачитывает.
the likes of which Spider-Man had
А то какой же Эдди Брок абьюзер.
never faced before. He is physically formidable, shares some of Spidey's powers, and is absolutely terrifying to behold. And for anyone who feels that Venom lost his edge as an anti-heroic lethal protector, the sheer brutality of Venom during Mac Gargan's time wearing the symbiote more than solidifies his villain status. Number 8, Bane. A muscle-bound man who uses super steroids. Number 8, Bane. A muscle-bound man who uses super steroids and wears a luchador mask. Taken at face value, Bane has henchmen written all over him. But
Он выглядит как злодей из рестлинга. Хил.
Mask, taken at face value, Bane...
Да, в рестлинге злодеев называют хилы, а в этом, блядь, героев фейсами. Недавно узнал, когда документалку смотрел про рестлинг от редакции.
Has henchmen written all over him. But in his very first story arc, the character quickly establishes himself as arguably the single greatest threat that Batman had ever faced. A cunning himself as arguably the single greatest threat that Batman had ever faced. A cunning strategist, brutal combatant, and natural leader, Bane broke Batman. First psychologically by overwhelming him with criminal activity after orchestrating a mass breakout from Arkham.
We've got passion, we've got determination. Like, and if we set our sights on something, you better believe it's happening.
And then physically. When he broke Batman's back. He also managed to figure out Batman's secret identity with little effort, demonstrating deductive reasoning rivaling that of Bruce Wayne's. Batman
Вот тут фраза «сила есть ума не надо» не подходит.
Has mastered demonstrating deductive reasoning rivaling that of Bruce Wayne's. Batman has mastered the fine art of beating the odds against overpowered villains. But Bane isn't just overpowered. He feels tailor-made to beat the Cape Crusader.
Oh, your bunny!
Number 7, Apocalypse. People often say that the X-Men play in their very own corner of the Marvel Universe. Sure, their adventures cross over with the more conventional Cape Crusaders, but they're more insular than most. And in the X-Men sphere, there are few villains more formidable than the ancient mutant Apocalypse. An-Sabanur was born in ancient Egypt, where the nomadic tribesmen who raised him instilled him to believe in the survival of the fittest. Flash forward thousands of years and numerous instilled him to believe in the survival of the
Выживание сильнейших? Это звучит как шоу.
fittest. Flash forward thousands of years and numerous generations later, an apocalypse is still being driven by the same values. In the modern age, he views mutants as the superior race, and he does not hesitate to call those he deems inferior, i.e. Homo sapiens.
Asleep, trapped in darkness. I was not there for you, my son, but I am here now.
Number 6, Darkseid. We haven't seen much of him on the big screen, but Darkseid doesn't need to raise his profile. This villain has already earned his place in the pantheon of legendary comic book villains. For the uninitiated, however, easiest way to describe Darkseid is as the DC equivalent of Thanos. And for the record, Darkseid debuted a full 2 years earlier. Darkseid's thirst for power arguably outmatches all other villains in DC Comics. He seeks to rule everything in existence, and unlike most characters with his caliber of powers and raw strength, he also has a mind to match. A god like villain with an army at his back, Darkseid is the end game for the Justice League. Number 5, Norman Osborn / Green Goblin. This
Амнезия Daniel Defoe.
For the Justice League. Number 5, Norman Osborn / Green Goblin. This entry is made up of both this character's civilian
Я вечно забываю имя этого актера. Уильям Дефо.
persona and their villain alter ego.
Да, какой же это был нелепый. элемент его костюма.
The reason? Because while it was the Green Goblin who originally cemented himself as Spider-Man's greatest foe, particularly after he killed Gwen Stacy, it's Norman Osborn who has more often plagued heroes in the years since. It's this historically duality that makes the character such a formidable villain. As Green Goblin, he is wild, violent, unpredictable, and more than a little unhinged. Norman Osborn, by contrast, is cold and calculating. In some ways, the two feel like the Joker and Lex Luthor wrapped into one. Over the years, wielding his fortune and business acumen, he's also placed himself in various positions of power, with devastating results. Number 4. Dr. Doom.
Блять, когда они доверяли в фильмах чел, которого зовут, сука, Дум, блять, ну это пиздец. Это стебал ностальгирующий критик, я это запомнил, потому что у Дженни Борда есть несколько заказных реакций на видос ностальгирующего критика, связанные с обзорами Людей Икс.
There are few villains who inspire fear and respect like Victor.
У меня есть трек Доктор Дум. Поищите в плейлисте треки.
Von Doom. Though he is first and foremost the arch nemesis of the Fantastic Four. The man in the iconic mask is a world-class villain. He rules Latveria with an iron fist, but his kingdom is allegedly freed from not only crime, but poverty and illness as well. He's a megalomaniac, sure, but he's not without honor and has even been known to play the hero under the right circumstances. Doom might suffer from the same alter ego problems as many of his peers, but unlike most, this brilliant polymath actually lives up to his own lofty self-image. He also once reshaped reality as he saw fit. Number 3, Magneto. There are those who will be sorely disappointed that the master of magnetism lands in this spot. And for the record, it was an incredibly tight race.
Hold it right there. Stay where you are. Put your hands over your heads. Now.
Max Eisenhardt, also known as Eric Magnus Lyncher, knows firsthand the atrocities that humankind is capable of when driven by hatred and fear. He is a survivor of the Holocaust. In his zealousness to protect mutant kind from those who will harm them, however, his methods have seen him commit horrible acts of his own. Magneto refuses to kneel. He is powerful both in terms of mutant abilities and as leader, and we never tire of the moral dilemmas he's presented over the decades. Number 2, Lex Luthor. It's remarkable. Superman is a living god, and he has tangled with numerous similarly overpowered villains over the years. And yet his greatest foe remains a mortal man, armed with nothing but his intelligence, business sense, political clout, and yes, on occasion, a wicked awesome war suit. Luthor proves that there's nothing more dangerous than a human with a grudge. Lex is a self-made man, and it's his personal mission to unmake Superman, which he's come close to doing on many occasions. Though heroes know his villainous heart, his philanthropic ways have earned him the trust of the masses, and this makes him twice as dangerous.
Before we continue,
Ой, блядь, все, мы знаем, кто на первом месте.
go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Joker.
Кто бы, блядь, сомневался?
According to co-creator Jerry Robinson, the Joker was designed to be an enduring arch nemesis.
Или Жаки! Ха-ха-ха! Это из сериала летучая мышца.
Is for the Cape Crusader, a larger-than-life Moriarty to their costume Sherlock Holmes. Of course, the accounts of Joker's creation are as conflicting as his in-universe origin. Some claim he was supposed to die at the end of his introductory arc. Regardless, debuting in Batman #1, the Joker would grow and evolve into a massive pop culture icon. Unlike most villains, Joker's worth can't be measured in bodies, except maybe of Batman's sidekicks. What makes him so compelling is his uniquely disturbed mind. He is chaos incarnate and evildoer who defies convention by showing disinterest in power or money. He's undoubtedly a monster.
Та-дам! Он испарился. Кстати, актер озвучки озвучивал и Джокера, и Железного Человека.
But one whose thoroughly human perversions never get old.
Хит Леджер. Светлая память.
Who's your all-time favorite big bad? Let us know in the comments down below.
Ебать прикольная музыка.
It smells like a fart.
Too much.
Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь на канал, жмите на колокольчик, чтобы не пропускать новые видео. Пишите комментарии, ставьте в телегу. С вами был Алекс Назаренко. Всем спасибо за просмотр, всем пока.